So I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but stage 3 Flame Ridge Racing Tour of Britannia. Got on a little bit later than planned last night. I was hoping to race at 5 o'clock, but ended up having to jump on the 7:30 session. But here it is. This is the Syco-list. Let's get on with it. So here we go. I've sped this one up a little bit because the first part of this course is quite flat and quite boring, to be honest with you. Went out this morning and did a 100k team ride, so not sure how my legs are going to cope on stage 3 of this one. Really didn't get myself sorted or prepared that well. I was due to race at 5 o'clock this evening, but I had a few technical issues trying to get onto Zwift. It wouldn't log me in, and by the time I managed to get logged on, the race had already started, so I had to reschedule my plans and start this race at 7:30 in the evening, which wasn't ideal. And as you can see by my video, that I didn't really get the pain cave set up properly. Forgot to turn on one of the main lights at the front of the studio for the best, but I do remember it in a little while, and you'll see me lean over and do it. But anyway, this stage 3 of Flame Ridge Racing is being raced on the London Pretzel, which is a 32-mile course which takes in Fox Hill and Box Hill to finish. So later on in this race, those two hills, I'll slow them down and show you those in their entirety. But at the moment, as we make our way through the streets of London, the race is quite flat. Obviously this is the third race in 3 days, and I've jumped on a later race. There's not as many people in this one, 41 racers in this one. And my intention is just to hold on for as long as I can. I'm not sure what my legs are going to give me today, but yeah, just hold on and see where we go. Nobody in this group is really making an effort to get away. The pace isn't that bad, so I take this opportunity, as you can see, to lean over and switch the front light on so you can actually see my camera picture, my webcam picture a bit better than what it was at the start. But yeah, no one's really making an effort to drag this one away. The pace of this race hasn't been as high as they normally start, so I'm only averaging 246, 247 watts average at the moment. A few little digs for these little climbs, but they're just short little ramps really as you come through the streets of London. But I was expecting this to go off a lot quicker, being flat to start with, but I think people are just saving themselves for the sprints and the hill climbs that are going to come. Obviously hill climbs not my strongest thing, but I'll have to just put the watts down and try and hold as many wheels as I can going up them. As you can see, I'm trying to stay around sort of the top 20 riders if possible. Don't want to do too much on the front, but I just want to stay in that top part of the race really. It's quite bunched together. I expect this to probably stay together for at least an hour until the first climb comes in, and then see how it breaks up from there. But just staying within the pack, just trying to do the best I can at the moment of getting a free ride as much as I can by hugging a few wheels. But in a minute you'll see my technical issues kick in again as we move through this segment. Sat in 12th place, and I've slowed it down just to show you what actually happens. Going along nicely, everything seems to be working fine, all my stats are on the screen, and then I literally just lose everything down the right hand side of the screen. Riders disappear, come back, then it's not telling me what my position is, so I'm expecting something to drop out or something to happen. And this is really annoying within a race, because you're trying to work out what you need to do and how you are. So I lose everything here, as you can see. I'm looking at the screen a bit confused of what's going on. I've lost all the other racers around me. One pops back up, and then I get the dreaded connection disconnected. So I've lost internet connection and everything's dropped out. And at this point I just think to myself, right, I need to hold 250-ish watts and just keep pushing, because if it does come back, I don't want to have dropped everything. So here I'm just putting the effort in, keep digging away, hoping that connection is going to re-establish itself. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but I've just got to keep working. The longer this goes on, the more I'm thinking, what am I going to do next? Because clearly it's not resolving itself. So it's been a little while now, still not resolved the issue. Connection says it's been reconnected, but I'm still pushing out. Well, you can see 300 watts. Not sure where I'm going to end up, so I go to the other option now, trying to get into the menu settings while still pedaling, trying to keep the effort going, because if this does reconnect, I want to be back within the race. So here I am flicking through the screens, just trying to see if I can find out a way what's connected, checking that all my bike and my cadence and power and everything's still connected. Then I move into the other settings to see if any of this I can change or adapt to get it all to come back, but there's nothing there allowing me to change anything. So I'm flicking through the screens, still trying to put out the effort and see if I can get into anything. Back, still nothing. I get a thumbs up, so there's some connection, and there you go. I'm first in the race, it's reconnected, and then I'm just going to sit up a little bit now and let everyone rejoin me, because I've been doing an effort without knowing that I've probably been dragging those people along for the last couple of minutes whilst I've been trying to re-establish my connection. But it does happen, those connections do happen. What you need to do though is just persevere. So we're now 45 minutes plus into this race. It's not really gone anywhere. Everyone's just sat in, everyone's not really making a move. We're just all going with the flow with this one. Maybe because it's day 3 of a stage race, I don't know. I've never done one of these events before, but 240 watts after 45 minutes for an average is ideal for me today after a long ride this morning with the team. Definitely feeling the effects of the 100k this morning. And as we make our way through the tube station here to head out towards the hills, we're going to take on Fox Hill first, which I know if I can stay within the top 20 riders going up Fox Hill, I'll be happy with that, because I think this is where the race will break up. So Fox Hill then just under a 5% average gradient over 1.5 miles in length. Started off this climb in about 9th place, and just going to try and see. I was sort of hoping in my head to have around about 300 watts, just try and hold 300 watts or so going up this, but it's gone off a little bit quicker than I expected. Sort of 12% gradient that we're on at the moment. Putting out just under 400 watts, just trying to stay with this group that I'm with. You can see that it's jumping around a bit, the positioning and that, but I'm around about 15th, 16th, something like that. And just watching a few of these riders in front just start moving away, and I'm thinking to myself, my watts per kilo isn't really matching what they're putting out. That's the good thing with Zwift, is obviously we all weigh in and make sure that our data is correct. So it gets rid of any cheating in that regard. So just trying to do my own thing here. I know that I've got to try and stay with some of these wheels and try and move with them. So that's the idea of the game. Using the head-up display in front of me to see where the yellow sections are, where I might be able to get a bit of recovery before I go again. But this 9% bit is going to ease off slightly to probably about a 5% gradient, and then ease again into the yellow section before it goes back up to 4 or 5% gradient. We'll get through it, just see how we can fare as we go over the top. So as we're coming towards the top now, I've dropped down to 18th place. There's these two riders in front of me, and then the group ahead of us there. The group ahead have got about 7 seconds on us. I'm just trying to stay with these two in front of me. The HISP rider in front of me in the sort of mint green colour, just trying to stay with him and hold his wheel. And A for Fun in front of him, got 2 seconds on us. If I can close that gap, which it looks like I'm trying to do at the moment, that would be ideal to try and get over the top of this climb and then have the descent where hopefully I can gain some places back. But 17th and moving forward, that's the main thing, not giving up on this one yet. So here we are coming to the top of Fox Hill. I've managed to stay in 17th place. Got that other rider from HISP on my wheel as we go through the top of this climb. And then onto the descent. I've sped this bit up a little bit as well. Here I'm hoping that I can try and gain some time. I've got 5 seconds to the next rider in front of me. If I can put an effort in down this descent and make it work for me, hopefully I can gain a few places back and maybe even get back into the bunch that's ahead of us before we go on to do Box Hill in a little while. I'm happy at the moment, hour into this race, in the top half of the start line, so 17th out of 41, happy with that. But I really ideally want to get back to the group if I can, so that I can have more people around me to work with rather than just me and this one rider that I'm with. We've got a gap of 10-11 seconds on the group behind us, so we just need to either bridge across to the group in front of us or get caught by the group behind if we don't work well. So as you can see, out the saddle, a little dig in, just trying to make the most of getting any aero benefits and that, and get some recovery in down this descent. Aero tuck there, coming down nicely in behind those other two riders, and I'm just going to carry on through. I'm not going to stop, carry on through. So I've caught them up into 15th now. The gap to the group in front is 12 seconds. So I'm hoping this group with me are going to do some work and we can try and pull this back. So here we are, we can see the group ahead of us now. We've closed the gap down to about 4 seconds. Just doing a little bit of a work up this little section, see if we can get up over the top, and fingers crossed we can close this down and sit in with this group and recover a little bit. As you can see, easing off the pedals, just soft pedaling in through this group. So we're back in that main group again. There's further people down the road ahead of us. As you can see, this little group I'm in, there's still a few off the front. 17 seconds, 40 seconds, so some of the climbers have really pulled away on Fox Hill. But I'm happy where I am. I'm still within this group, which is going to give me probably top 15 finish if I can stay with this group. Don't want to do too much work, but I just don't want to let anything go, because ideally I want to stick with this group to give me that incentive to get up Fox Hill. So here we are, just coming onto the bottom of Box Hill, just under a 2-mile climb, this one averaging at 4.3%. I've raced this before on the team time trial in WTRL, so I know what it's like. I know it's got a few little kicks to it as we go up. Going into this in 14th place, just got to try and hold as many wheels as I can, and there's going to be some climbers in this group that are going to pull away from us, because obviously we've had to work on the descent of the last climb to pull this group back. So stick in, hold some wheels, and see how we get on towards the top. So my legs are starting to feel it now, and just trying to stay with this group is getting a little bit punchy for me, because I'm having to get out the saddle, do a little dig, sit back down again, just to try and stay in touch with this group. There you go, out the saddle, little dig, sit back down, back on the power, and just try and keep it going. Every time I drop off a little bit, it's that dig again to get back on, which is starting to drain my legs a little bit. There's not a lot left in the tank. I don't enjoy racing late in the evening, so this race now started at 7:30 and it's coming up towards 9 o'clock, and I've had a long day out on the ride this morning as well, so just want to stay in this top part of this little group, chase it down if I have to. And in my head I'm thinking I don't want to finish 13th because that's unlucky for some, so just trying to stay on the wheels. A few of them are just pulling away now, but my tank is pretty much empty, so I'm just going to have to battle and get across the finish line. So here we go, over the top of Box Hill. I've completed that. I think I set a PR as well, which is not bad after a day's work. But I'm in 13th place with less than 1,000 feet to go by the looks of it. So they've moved the finish line to just slightly down the descent. So I'm going to chase this one down. Not a lot left in the tank here, but I go past that rider. So I'm going to finish in 12th, which happy with that. Figures aren't going to be massively high, probably around 250 watts, something like that average, 251 average watts, 3.2 watts per kilo. Well, I don't know whose idea it was to do a stage 3 race after a team 100k this morning, but stage 3 is complete, finished 12th, quite happy with that. If you've liked this video, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.